Hello everybody, thank you for joining us for another episode of the Un-Erasable stories. Today we wanted to create a special episode to honor those who lost their lives in the attacks on the morning of September 11th. This episode contains audio from some of the voicemails left for friends and family members by people aboard the two planes to hit the towers, as well as stories for some of the firefighters that responded that day. Some of the audio presented in this episode contains content of a sensitive nature, and viewer discretion is advised. The following voicemails are from Lauren Brancoles, Linda Grundlin, and Flight Attendant CC Lyles.
Honey, are you there? Jack, pick up, sweetie. Okay, well, I just wanted to tell you I love you. We're having a little problem on the plane. I'm totally fine. I just love you more than anything. Just know that. And, I'm comfortable and I'm okay for now. Just a little problem, so I just love you. Please tell my family I love them too. Bye, honey.
Elsa, it's Lynn. I only have a minute. I'm on United 93, and it's been hijacked by terrorists who say they have a bomb. Apparently, they have flown a couple of planes into the World Trade Center already, and it looks like they're going to take this one down as well. Mostly, I just wanted to say I love you, and I'm going to miss you. and please keep my love to my dad. And mostly, I just love you, and I just wanted to tell you that. I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to tell you that again or not. All my stuff is in the safe. The safe is in my closet in my bedroom. The combination is you push C for clear and then 0913, and then it should, and maybe pound, and then it should unlock. I love you, and I hope I can talk to you soon. Bye.
Hi, baby. Baby, you have to listen to me carefully. I'm on a plane that's been hijacked. I'm on the plane. I'm calling from the plane. I want to tell you I love you. Please tell my children that I love them very much. And I'm so sorry, babe. I don't know what to say. There's 3 guys. They've hijacked the plane. I'm trying to be calm. We're turned around, and I've heard that there's planes that's been flown into the World Trade Center. I hope to be able to see your face again, baby. I love you. Bye.
This is one account of a firefighter's experience that day.
Just had a plane crash into level 4 of the World Trade.
And I get a phone call from the off-duty fireman, and he tells me, Bill, I just saw a plane hit the Trade Center. He says, it sounds like it's going to be something. You better head out also. I get on the expressway, clear, beautiful day, and I can see smoke coming from the towers. But as I crossed those 6 lanes of highway, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Bodies were dropping right in front of us. One lady coming down screaming, hitting the ground, and then there was really nothing left.
She's right in front of you.
Within 3 feet. I remember a man and woman jumping, hugging each other. I'm in the North Tower. I saw a bunch of civilians that were exiting a staircase. What floor are you from? In the 70th. And I said, we're doing a good job. And then, only moments later, it seemed I heard a loud rumble coming from above. I remember I'm thinking it was the building I was in that was coming down. It was the loudest noise you ever heard in your life. The twisting metal and the building coming down as 8 subway cars coming into a train station at the same time with their brakes squealing. The only light around was my flashlight. Now I hear these people screaming on the other side of that door, help, help, and all. And I said, these are the same people I just told, good job, you made it. And I felt so responsible for them. Plus the people that are inside the stairwell were with me. I tried getting that doorway open, and I couldn't. It seemed blocked. John DeLara, this emergency service cop, was coming down the stairs at that point. And they asked me, what's up? Just like that, like, what's up? And I said, I think we're trapped in here. I said, get all these civilians. I said, the door seems blocked. And then he and I, we just started bowing against that door. And each time we hit it, we got it open a little bit more. And finally, we got it open wide enough. And I remember telling him, if you could see my light, I'm a fireman. Come to my light. About 15 people came to my light. And I remember putting a hand on the wall and said, follow this wall back, it goes to a doorway, and go in that doorway. And they did. And it seemed to evacuate that area. And then out of nowhere, he says to me, my wife's name is Carol. I remember I said to him, my wife's name is Cynthia. And then he says, he has a 7-year-old boy. I said, I got a 6-year-old boy. And I believe he said that he had a 2-year-old boy. And I have a 2-month-old boy, I said. That's what we talked about for the next 10 minutes or so, our family. I don't know whatever brought that upon us, to be talking about our families. It's never happened in an emergency situation. It's almost like you're telling the other person your eulogy or something. At this point in time when we were exiting the building, and his sergeant was there, Sergeant Curtin, and he pointed right at me, he pointed his finger, and I remember him saying, I think we should get out of this building now. I took one step. I got blown about 40 feet. But I crawled into a window. I just kind of tumbled into the room. I went under a desk. I got into like a ball. I felt so vulnerable as I was getting buried. John DeLara went down right in that area where we were. Naming every guy I had breakfast with that morning. There was 12 of us working that day. And I was the only one to live, the only one to come home. People have asked me in the past, do people have time to worry? Do people have time to think? It was so quick. It just came down and that was it. Wow.
To round out the show, we have a gentleman describing his experience on that day.
Just like any other day, got in a little after 6, walked from the bus stop on Bessie Street, said hello to the guards. And one of those things, you didn't know anybody's name, but you knew them by face, and you'd always say good morning, and they'd say good morning back. You'd ride the elevator up from the ground to 44, transfer from 44 to 72, walk off to the 72nd floor, and first thing I would do, I'd go to the pantry and start a pot of coffee. And then I would walk around the floor, start checking equipment. By the time I made my lap, coffee would be ready. Grab a cup of coffee, go back to my office, and start my day. I had been on the phone with a friend of mine, and it's funny, I just remember the conversation we were having. We both coached youth sports, and our sons played on the same team. I was the head coach, he was the assistant coach, and we were talking about the game. And he said to me, Bob, I'll call you right back. I said, okay, fine. I went up, I had to go make copies. And then while I was making copies, there was this boom and a vibration. And all I said to myself was, not again, because it felt the same way it did in '93. I had enough time. I went back to my office. I called my mother. She worked at an office in Queens, and I got her voicemail. So I told her, let the message say, Mom, something's happened at the Trade Center, but don't worry. It's the North Tower. It's not my tower. After I called my mom, I called my wife. She's at her office, and I asked her, "Are you watching this?" And she's watching what? And I mean, in '93, not every office had televisions. And I'm explaining to her what's going on, and while I'm on the phone with her, there's a sudden swoosh, bang, boom. 3 sounds and a violent ride, thrown forward and back numerous times. Like I said, I was in an office at first watching from the north. The office that I had was in the southeast corner, and the plane came in on the southeast corner. I was on the 72nd floor, and the lowest point, I believe, of the plane is 78. So it missed me by 6 flights. And after the floor stopped shaking, I picked up the phone. My wife had heard the explosion. She was screaming, "What was that?" I told her I didn't know. Something exploded. She told me, "Get the hell out of there." And my last words to my wife would have been, "All right, I'll call you later." As we're walking out onto the floor to head to the stairs, I realized our receptionist had left a sweater behind. So now I've got a flashlight, I've got water. How am I going to cover my face? I took my handy-dandy Swiss Army knife out, I cut the 2 sleeves off, and we made turtlenecks. Kind of looked like Bazooka Joe from the comics. Pulled them over our faces, just enough. All set to tackle the floor, tackle the stairs. Down the stairs we went. We met some people along the way. Some people wanted our help, some people didn't. Some people I sent help to. So there are people in there that I kind of feel bad about. And I knew they didn't leave, and I knew that I had helped send help to them, and I know that the help didn't survive. One of the things I did, even on 9/11, I used a ploy when we met the 2 women that needed help. The pregnant woman always wanted to stop. I mean, she'd do a floor and stop. I'd give her water. I took part of the receptionist sweater I'd soak it, and I'd give her a little sponge bath on her head just to get her going. But geez, as soon as we get 1 floor down, I want to stop again. And something from coaching. And when the boys do their push-ups, I'd always tell them, "Give me 1 more. If you can do 10, try to give me 11. You can do this." And she'd give me 1 floor, and she'd want to stop. I'd say, "Give me 1 more floor, then we'll stop." I'm not going to stop every time you want to stop. We'll never get out of here. I do carry a piece of the receptionist's sweater every day. It's in my wallet. Marilyn was her name. I even told her that I apologized. I said, "Do you remember that sweater you left on the desk?" She goes, "Yeah." I said, I cut it up and I used it. I used a Swiss Army knife that day.
Thank you everyone again for joining us in honoring the people we lost on that day.